Welcome to NISEI Week 2019. Thanks for coming out so early. We're going to get started with a competitor tutorial for new first-time competitors. If you're not a first-time competitor, it might be a good idea just to watch to make sure I don't forget anything. At the end, we'll do a quick thing about questions, if anyone has any questions or clarifications. But after that, once we do the tutorial, we'll call a group 2, and then we'll go from there. Everyone should have a group. If you registered on site, we told you your group verbally. If you're ever unsure about which group you're in, feel free to contact me. My name is Michael, or Alex. We have these nice pins, so find one of us and we'll get you figured out. But in the meantime, let's get started with the tutorial. Competitors in group 6, please come up. If you're in that group, you're going to come to this table over here, and you're going to drop off your cube. Matthew Harris is going to demonstrate as our competitor for this. So let's say that he was in group, so group 4, please come up. You come up, drop off your cube. By looking at the table, there are a bunch of solved cube. That's important. Don't drop off an unsolved cube. You'd find your name. You'd find your name and put your cube on top of your name. After that, a runner is going to take all of these cubes and go over to the scrambling table. In the meantime, please wait in this patio area over here. This is going to be our competitor waiting area. While you're here, feel free to talk to other people in the round. One quick caveat is please don't discuss scrambles. So for example, don't say something like, oh man, that cross was super hard. Or something like, wow, I got really lucky and, skipped 2 F2L pairs or something like that. Discussion of scrambles is strictly prohibited because obviously it gives an unfair advantage to other people in the round, and it will mean that you get disqualified, so please don't discuss scrambles. But other than that, feel free to chat with other competitors, ask how their day is going. You can ask what their results are, that's fine. Like, how are you doing? Oh, I have like 2 12s and a 15. That's fine. Just don't discuss the individual scrambles. After your cube is submitted, it'll be brought over to scrambling. A scrambler will scramble the cube to a specified sequence. The sequence is the same for all people in a group. And then that runner will take it to an open station and call your name. So once you've come up and submitted your puzzle, listen for your name to be called by the runner. When your name is called, follow the runner and make sure you go to the right station. We have 12 stations here, so make sure you go to the correct one. Once you're here, the judge will ask if they're ready. After you say yes, the judge will lift off the cover and give you up to 15 seconds of inspection time. The judge will remind you at 8 seconds and 12 seconds. After 8 seconds and 12 seconds has passed, it takes a little bit of time for the timer to register to count. Make sure you wait for the green light to appear. It might be a little bit hard to see down off stage, but when you come up stage, if this is your first time, just tell your judge that this is your first time and they'll walk you through kind of the process on stage. Nicely done. So when you first put on your hand, a red light will appear. So let me see if I can do this. When you first put your hands on the sensors, a red light will appear next to the power button. If you hold them on long enough, a green light will appear. That green light is your cue to be able to go. This process takes maybe half a second or so. So don't try to wait until 15 seconds, like right before 15 seconds and try to start, because you'll more than likely not be able to start the timer, which would be unfortunate. Once the timer is running, you solve your cube as usual. During inspection, you can't make any turns. After inspection when you're solving, feel free to make all the turns you need to solve it. After that's done, the result will be displayed. The judge will write down the result. And then afterwards, there are 2 boxes. Oh, there are 3 now. Cool. After the result is written, the judge will initial saying that all procedures have been correctly followed, and then afterwards you'll also initial saying all procedures have been correctly followed. Now, a couple things just to quickly caveat. You may receive certain kinds of penalties at these kinds of competitions. One of the most common is what's known as a misalignment penalty, where you can clearly solve the cube, but you're off by just a little bit. You're only allowed to be off by 1 turn. If you're off by 1 turn, so either a 90-degree turn or a 180-degree turn, you will receive a plus 2 second penalty. All of our penalties are either plus 2 seconds or DNF, or did not finish. So if you're misaligned by something like this, that's 2 turns, or at least more than 1 turn, so that would be considered a DNF. Notice that slice moves like this are considered 2 moves, not 1, so that would also be a DNF. So if it's off by 1 turn, the time would be written as 13.75 plus 2 equals 15.75. Some other common ways that you might get plus 2s, so hopefully this doesn't happen, because we're going to go over them. Please don't do this. Some common things are how to start the timer and stop the timer. Stopping it with karate chop motions is not very good. 1, because it can break stuff, and 2, this isn't a martial arts contest. So instead, please put your palms down. Yeah. This is also not allowed because it's too easy for us to not be able to tell if you're touching the cube. So this is very bad. Don't do it this way. Instead, make sure that your palms are down and your fingertips are touching the sensors. Something like this is fantastic. So on start, you have to start this way, palms down, fingers touching. When you stop, all you need to do is make sure your palms are down. So you can stop kind of overreaching, as we said before. But never like this, don't do this, don't use your face, don't use your elbows, don't use your knees, I guess. So yeah, palms down. If you go over 15 seconds for inspection, you will receive a penalty. Just don't do it. If you do go over 15 seconds, we'll clarify exactly what that is, but if it's just a little bit, it'll be a plus 2 second penalty. If it's a lot over, it'll be a DNF. In general, a lot of competitors will start at the 8-second mark when they hear that 8-second warning. You can start any time before. You can start immediately, essentially, if you wanted to, but you have up to 15 seconds to inspect. Some other common things are if you stop it like this, where you properly stop palms down, but the puzzle is covering the timer, that's okay. However, what's not okay is touching the puzzle when you stop the timer. So if you stop the timer such that, yeah, there are a couple different ideas here, but yeah. So if you stop the timer, but then you go back and touch the puzzle, that would be considered a DNF, so definitely don't do that. We can sometimes downgrade that to a plus 2 second penalty, but just in general, once you stop the timer, don't touch the puzzle. At least until the judge has verified that the puzzle is in a good state, or whatever state it is. Misalignment penalties will be judged by resting state, so if you stop the timer and the puzzle like skids off the table and lands on the floor, we'll take whatever state it is after it stopped moving. You can be slightly off. For example, something like this would not be considered a misalignment. Our cutoff mark is basically the 45-degree mark. Some of these cases can be really hard to judge. Alex and I will be around to make sure that everything is judged fairly. Other things are when you... Thank you, Alex. Other things are, while you're stopping the timer, make sure you fully release the puzzle. Don't stop it like this. That would be, in this case, it would be a plus 2 second penalty for not stopping your palms down, plus another 2 second penalty for holding onto the puzzle. So make sure that you fully release the puzzle when you stop the timer. If anything else comes up, feel free to ask either Alex or me, but that covers most of the things. Do we have any questions real quick before we get started with the 3x3 group 2? Yeah, what's up?